A group of men from Australia has started a podcast called Hories Tell Stories with more than 3,000 followers and is using its platform to spread positive messages of self-improvement while spinning a yarn. We spoke earlier to the creators of Hories Tell Stories from Perth about their backgrounds and their journey into podcasting.
Myself, my family's from Wanganui. I was brought up in Christchurch though, so I spent about 19 years in down south.
Yeah, well, Corey actually asked us, took us down to the pub, sat us down, and he wanted us to, on the me and Joe view, we'll do the talk a lot. No experience whatsoever in terms of talking on a podcast, but it's been really good. I think us boys just enjoy catching up, having a bit of yarn, and it's opened up a lot of opportunities for us as well, so it's been awesome.
Cairo, you've completed 25 episodes now and interviewed some great talent, including sports stars. Which interviews have been among your favourite?
I've been lucky to have Richard Kahui on, which was a pretty awesome interview, and the founder of Haka for Life, Leon Ruri, who's doing some awesome things with men's mental health. So that's definitely probably one of my favourites.
Will, you also cover some important kaupapa in your interviews. Where did the motivation come from to cover some of these more heavy topics?
I think growing up, I dealt with a lot of boys from rugby teams and from school and stuff, like suicide and stuff like that. So it was important that we brought this kaupapa into our podcast as well, not just a couple of yarns and laughs and giggles, but to really focus on some deep conversations that people are having with themselves, and hopefully that other people's experiences and hearing it on the podcast can help them as well. So that's where that comes from.
Levi, what are your expectations for your podcasts moving into the future?
I think, I guess just to grow the potty. I think for us boys, we're just having fun. That's the good thing. It's been quite rewarding, overwhelming a little bit as well, just because we've had a lot of people reach out to send us a message saying, hey, I listened to that potty around mental health, and just saying how it's helped them in some ways. So for us, it's been really rewarding in that aspect. I mean, we've all got our own mahi going on as well, children and everything like that. So we're all busy, but we just come together once or twice a week to put forward a potty. And it's been wicked. It's been a wicked little journey, and only 25 episodes in. So we've had a few awesome guests. So, it's a lot bigger or better than what we expected it would be.
Yeah. Well, who would be, and anyone can answer this, who would be among your top 3 wish list guests to have on your podcast?
I'd love to have someone like Taika Waititi. I think he'll be awesome to have on. He's a pretty funny character as well. I think us boys would have a pretty good laugh with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind Dan Carter.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Yeah, Dan Carter, I reckon, would be another one that would like to get on the potty as well.
Yeah, I think, like an All Black, great for me as well, because us boys, big rugby fans, and, always grew up idolising, the black jersey and the players that wore it, so just to have someone like that as well would be pretty wicked.
Now, what's the response been like from Māori, particularly around Perth?
Oh, we've got a very big Māori contingent here in Perth. I believe some of the stats now that 1 in 6 Māori actually born in Australia now. We can see that coming through the development through our touch game. We just had the state titles on the weekend, and a lot of these younger kids were actually born here as well, and it's good to see them rolling around. This is actually one of our club teams here in Perth, the Perth Brothers. It's just a local touch team that goes to state titles, and it's just good to see them coming through and giving them a platform and to know what Māori is here in Australia.
Now, a couple of you have been away from New Zealand about 15 years. Levi, I think yours is 10 years. What do you miss about being away from Aotearoa? I know one of those things you miss isn't the weather.
Yeah, I was in the Navy for a bit and then moved over. My partner relocated over to Perth and followed, and we had our children here. So for me, I think it's just the culture. It's a lot different growing up from how I grew up. For my kids, I feel. I think Joe will probably be the same. It's it's the whānau as well. So I just recently went back home just before the floods, for Christmas and hadn't been home since before COVID. So I've got 3 young ones. Joe's got 2. And, yeah, I think just the whānau and just that upbringing that we had growing up.
The kai as well.
The food.
We love a good feed.
The pies at the bakery were pretty dangerous as well. Yeah.
Karo Takarangi, Will Job and Levi Kisikponga from Hories Tell Stories. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we wish you continued success with your podcast. Ngā mihi kia koutou.
Appreciate it.
Kia ora, Neil.
Kia ora.
Cheers.